Hey guys, welcome back to Pepper Geek. Today we're making the perfect sandwich topper, crunchy pickled jalapeno peppers. So pickled jalapenos are some of our favorite little snacks that we get out of the garden. They're tangy, they're perfect on sandwiches, or you can just eat them straight if you like spicy food. It's a great way to preserve your peppers as well. These will last about 1 or 2 months in the refrigerator. They're just great. I love quick pickling a lot of different things, and jalapenos is one of them. So the first thing you should know about pickling anything is that there are 2 components. You've got your fresh ingredients, which in this case we're just going to use jalapenos and a little bit of garlic. And then you've got your brine, which is the liquid component that is comprised of vinegar, salt, and some water, and then your herbs and spices. That's what's going to preserve the produce and give it that sort of tangy pickled bite. So to start out, I actually like to use a ball jar, and I use this to actually measure out the brine ingredients. So we're going to start with, this is a pint sized jar, and we're going to start out with 1 part water, 1 part vinegar. In this case, I'm going to use about 3/4 cup of water, 3/4 cup of white vinegar. But if you're using a quart size or larger, scale up and scale up everything else as well. It's important to get the salt levels right too, so make sure that you scale that up as well. Okay, so I have 3/4 cup of water here, and I'm going to add 3/4 cup of vinegar. I love ball jars because they have little measurement ticks on the side. Okay, so to that we're going to add 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1 tablespoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of oregano, flaked, fresh is fine as well if you have that from the garden, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of mustard seed. So those are the ingredients of our brine. It's half vinegar, half water. You could use other types of vinegar as well. Feel free to use apple cider vinegar or white wine vinegar. They all have sort of different flavor profiles. And so then this is going to go onto the stove, and we're going to bring it to a boil, and in the meantime we'll cut up our peppers. Now keep in mind this is a quick pickling method, which means you'll have to keep them in the refrigerator and they won't last quite as long as, say, water bath canning, which actually preserves and seals the jars properly for long-term shelf life. Okay, so while that cooks, we're going to prepare the jalapenos. Make sure you give them a nice wash and dry, just under cold water in the sink. And then we're going to remove the stems. Now we're using about 10 peppers, but whatever amount will fit into your jar is exactly what you're going to need. So we're just going to go ahead and slice all of these up into saucers, little jalapeno chips. Now you should be wearing gloves. I should be wearing gloves right now, but I've had jalapeno hands so many times that I can't even count. And I'm just kind of used to the burn, but if you want to avoid hot pepper burn on your hands, make sure that you wear a pair of gloves. Now as I go, I'm just going to add these with tongs to the jar. No need to remove the seeds unless you really don't want them to be spicy, but it's too much of a hassle really to remove the seeds. So these will be used for something else, like a salsa or maybe some relish or something like that. Never let your peppers go to waste. 1 clove of garlic. Pop that in there as well. Okay, so as you can see, the brine is cooling on our cutting board. We want to make sure that all of the ingredients are well mixed and the salt and sugars are both dissolved. And then we're just going to pour the hot brine directly onto the jalapenos. And you want to make sure you do this while it's pretty hot. So be careful, avoid splashing if you can. And you're just going to pour it over until your jalapenos are fully submerged. There we go. There's a little bit left over. I'm just going to try to get some of the mustard seeds in there. So that's one mistake a lot of people make, is they try to put the fresh ingredients into the brine, and then you realize that you have too much brine and not enough space for your ingredients. So always fill your jars with the fresh ingredients first and then pour the brine over. So now we're just going to cover this up and seal, and then just give it a gentle shake to mix everything around. And then allow this to sit for at least 20 or 30 minutes. You want it to cool off. The center of your ball jar lid should sink down, which means that as it cools down, that just naturally happens. And then you can keep these in the refrigerator for 1 to 2 months. Once you open them up, you do want to eat them within a couple weeks. But believe me, the flavor of these is so good that you're gonna eat them in much less than that, I assure you. If you'd like to read this recipe or print it out for yourself, head over to peppergeek.com. We'll leave a link in the description to this particular article so that you can follow along on our website. So yeah, that's it, pickled jalapenos. I hope you enjoy your fresh pickled jalapenos. And leave a comment below if you have any recommendations for how to modify this, other ingredients you like to use in your pickled recipes. We'd love to try them ourselves here at Pepper Geek. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.